Darren, we knew it was going to be just a matter of time until Mike Babock got back behind the bench. Give us a sense of what his plan, though, is moving forward in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, you know what, Gino? He is just simply looking forward to getting back on the bench, getting part of a hockey program, and giving back to the province of Saskatchewan and university sport in general. I spoke to Mike on the weekend. He was skiing at the time, so he took a few minutes to give me a call. And he's excited about the opportunity. It was initiated around Christmas time, and it started as a bit far-fetched, to be fair. It wasn't taken seriously by Mike or his wife, but they gave it further consideration. And because of the family in Saskatoon specifically, it makes a lot of sense. Now, Mike is committed to coach 1 year with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies. Even though it was announced it was a 2-year agreement, he will start coaching next September. But in the meantime, the University of Saskatchewan is going through a vetting resume process that is pretty extensive. They're looking at multiple resumes now. When they get an associate coach or assistant coach list down to 4 or 5, then Babcock will engage and he'll help make that final determination. He will mentor that individual with the hope that that man will ultimately take over the program of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies at the end of next season. After that, he'll decide what his next move is, whether that's staying in hockey or potentially doing something else.
He's in his way back. Mike Babock is speaking to the media after being named new head coach of the University of Saskatchewan. Originally from Saskatoon, Babcock will run the men's hockey team on a full-time volunteer basis for the next 2 seasons. Babcock had 4 years remaining on his contract at about $6 million per season when he was fired by the Leafs in 2019. After he was fired, Babcock was criticized for his treatment of a young Mitch Marner, and he was accused of verbally assaulting Johan Franzen during his days with the Red Wings.
Since I've been fired in Toronto, there's lots of things been said. When I met with the leadership group on Zoom today, and there are 5 guys there, they're men. They're not boys, they're men in that. And we talked a lot about that. And so I think it was real important to clear that up. You know, for me, I think anytime you do anything in life, you have to own it. But I also think if you haven't, you shouldn't own it. And so for me, I don't believe this all passes the smell test. And what I mean by that for you is, and I'll just give you some examples as my career went on. When I was working for the Cincinnati Mighty Ducks, and Brian Murray worked with me closely for 2 years and then hired me to be the coach of Anaheim, it's not like we had a Zoom interview for 12 seconds. They knew who I was. I had worked with Ken Holland and Jim Nill at the same time because Anaheim and Detroit shared a farm team. When they came to get me, they knew me for 4 years. I'd worked with Jim Nill as the head coach of the World Championship team. I worked with them 10 years. Then Yzerman, who I coached and worked with for 4 years in the office, hires me to coach 2 Olympic teams. Shanahan takes me to try. Something doesn't add up here. Have I done anything wrong? You know what? You're married. Have you ever said anything to your wife you'd like to take back? You know, like you're reaching for the words and you'd like to have it back. Sure, I have. But is your intention good? Are you trying to make players better? Are you trying to treat them right, to maximize the team? Absolutely. And for me, you can't have the success I've had without having really good cultures. You can't have the family I have, the wife I have, the kids I have, the extended family, without caring about people. It doesn't work like that.